all in, we'll be ready to rock. Thank you, sir.
Reverend Neil, we can sit here.
Yes, anywhere you like.
In the middle.
Not too far away?
No.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Did I wake you up?
No.
Welcome to our Parents' Day Awards ceremony here at the Bay Area Family Church. My name is Bento Leal. I'm a member of the Bay Area Family Church, and I'm also the coordinator for Northern California, the Parents' Day Awards. So we're really, really excited about this. In fact, right now, throughout the country, different awards programs are going on everywhere because it's sponsored by, the Parents' Day Awards are sponsored by the Universal Peace Federation and a few other host organizations, but there are programs like this everywhere. And in fact, tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific time is going to be a national program done out of Washington, D.C. that is going to be able to be viewed online. So we're going to be able to get you that link as well at 1 o'clock. In fact, one of our awardees today, and I'll mention when we get to them, they're actually going to be honored also at the national event. So they get two big applauses. How about that? So stay tuned who those people are. So again, I'm very, very happy to be here, and I want to thank you for getting up on a Saturday morning and coming all the way here. Some people that came from Sacramento, right, Mike? And we got people being recognized from Marysville. Y'all know where that is?
Yes.
Way up there, and then in other places. So we're very, very honored. So to get us off going, we're going to have a little bit of music this morning. And if you would give up for Theo Townsend, who's going to come right up right now. He's also our tech master, and he's the music guy. So welcome, Theo.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Bento, you're not going to sing with me? Okay, so everybody's got to clap your hands while we're doing the song. Get on board. 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 The gospel trains are coming. I hear it just at hand. I hear the wheels are rolling through the land. Get on board, little children, get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, there's room for many a more. Get on board, little children, get on board. Little children, get on board. The fare is cheap and all can go. Rich and poor are there. There's an class of history. The difference in the fare. Get on board. Get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, room for many a more. Get on board. Little children, get on board. get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, there's room for many and more. Get on board. 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 Get on board.
Get on board. So now we're going to change the pace here. We're going to have Samuel Lancaster, one of our young fellows here at the Bay Area Family Church, going to come and play a saxophone. How about that? Samuel, are you ready? Come on up. Wow, that was beautiful. Let's give it up for that young man. One more time. We're talking about Parents' Day today. Give it up for Mom, too. She helped out. Number one cheerleader. And there's Dad back there. Big, happy dad. Woo. All right. And so now we have Sandra, who's a friend of Mary Jackson, going to come and sing a song for us. Sandra, would you come up? Let's give a hand for Sandra. All right.
Good morning. Test 1, test 2. Can you pull it up a little bit? carefully scheduled the course of our days, that we would give him the glory, the honor, and praise. Your designer's original, one of a kind, created by the master with one purpose in mind, to be a showcase of his glory for the whole world to see, a reflection of his beauty as it shines through you and me. So when you feel kind of worthless, not one of the rest, remember you're special, and you know that you are blessed. Let your heart be encouraged as you realize that you are beautiful, you're precious, you're a jewel in God's sight, 'cause you're a designer's original, one of a kind, created by the master with one purpose in mind, to be a showcase of his glory for the whole world to see, a reflection of his beauty as it shines through you and me. Yes, you're a designer's original, one of a kind, created by the master with one purpose in mind, to be a showcase of his glory for the whole world to see, a reflection of his beauty as it shines through you and me, a reflection, yes, a reflection of his beauty as it shines through you and me. You and me.
Wow, that was fantastic. Sandra, one more time, Sandra. My goodness. Woo. You know, I got up real early this morning to get over here, and I didn't get any coffee, but I just had some espresso right there. I think I'm good to go now for the rest of the week. So let's give it up for all of our entertainers this morning. That was so beautiful. You know, I wrote, I want to get those, I mean, I tried to write as fast as I could. You're a designer's original, one of a kind. I'll take it. Come on, did you write that?
No, that's Danny Bell Hall.
Well, I'm going to claim it. Okay. You work out the copyright, but that's okay. Listen to that. You're a designer's original, one-of-a-kind, created by the master with one purpose in mind. We would even say created by the parent, right? The original parent. We're Parents' Day, that's talking about that one. With one purpose in mind, to be a showcase of his glory for the whole world to see, a reflection of his beauty as it shines through you and me. Isn't that, you're one of a kind. Oh, my goodness. We were lining up the program even to the final minute, so Mary Jackson, one of our awardees, comes in and says, I brought a friend with me. Could she sing a song? I'm the kind of guy to get the program already lined up. I said, well, let me talk to Theo and make sure he's okay because he's the coordinator. She said, sure, come on, bring it in. And then she said, well, I got a CD. So you were spectacular. In fact, we should have had the buzzer here. You hit it and all the confetti come down. Yeah. We could have done our own thing. Oh, that was really, really nice. Thank you. Well, again, this is Parents' Day. Actually, tomorrow, and I'll get in more detail, tomorrow is a national day of commemoration that Congress made in the 90s called Parents' Day, and I'm going to explain more about it, but it's really a time to honor parents, lift up parents, not only say, hey, thank you, parents, but it reminds parents of the wonderful and yet important responsibility of being a good parent. So it's kind of lifting up parents, but also reminding parent of being a parent. And not only if you only have your own child, but everybody grow a parental heart for everybody. That's the real, everybody can be a parent. If you love others and serve others, then that's a parental heart. That's God's standard. So really beautiful. So now, Theo, we're going to be ready now for a short 2-minute video clip on what is Parents' Day. Here we go.
National Parents' Day honors all parents on the 4th Sunday in July. No matter where our parents may be, this day serves to celebrate their important role in our lives. In May we celebrated mothers, and in June we celebrated fathers. It follows that in July we can bring all our parents together and show them some appreciation all at once. Parents play a vital role in the lives of children. From our birth, parents protect, teach, provide, and serve as role models. As part of a family, we look to them for guidance. We mirror their behavior and learn to be a core part of our communities. Throughout our lives, our parents lead us to be independent thinking individuals. As many of us know, those efforts can be challenging. The world is changing as quickly as they grow. Often the sleepless nights and worries seem endless. On this particular Sunday, we honor all parents who do everything to raise and protect their children. How to observe National Parents' Day? Spend some time with your parents or visit someone who is like a parent to you. For those with small children, give yourself a pat on the back. Set the laundry aside and go to the park. Find a moment alone with each of your children and show them how glad you are to be their parent. Post on social media using hashtag National Parents' Day and encourage others to celebrate the day. In the United States, Parents' Day is held on the 4th Sunday of July. This was established in 1994 when President Bill Clinton signed a congressional resolution into law, 36 U.S.C. 135, for recognizing, uplifting, and supporting the role of parents in the rearing of children. The bill was introduced by Republican Senator Trent Lott. It was supported by members of the Unification Church, which also celebrates a holiday called Parents' Day, although on a different date. Parents' Day is celebrated throughout the United States. On this day, event is an educational project. Thank you for watching.
So, beautiful. So now what I'm going to do is give a little more background and history of Parents' Day. And some of it you have just heard on in the video. In 1994, the United States Congress unanimously passed the Parents' Day resolution. Unanimous, no dissent. Establishing the 4th Sunday of July as a perennial day of commemoration. Bipartisan legislation to establish Parents' Day was filed in the U.S. House of Representatives in August 1994 by Congressman Dan Burton, Indiana Republican, and Congressman Floyd Flake, a New York Democrat, and 16 additional original co-sponsors. The measure, which eventually acquired 223 co-sponsors, sponsors, passed the House on September 30th, 1994, and then passed in the Senate on October 4th. Then President Bill Clinton signed the measure into law on October 14th, 1994. And then the first Parents' Day would be of July of 1995, since it's the fourth Sunday of every July. According to the congressional resolution, Parents' Day is established for recognizing, uplifting, and supporting the role of parents in the rearing of children. The establishment of Parents' Day was the result of a bipartisan, multiracial, and interfaith coalition of religious, civic, and elected leaders who recognized the need to promote responsible parenting in our society and to uplift ideal parental role models, especially for our nation's children. In fact, it was Reverend Dr. Sun Myung Moon and his wife, Dr. Hak Ja-han Moon, the founders of the Universal Peace Federation, who encouraged the establishment of Parents' Day and met with those congressional leaders to get the ball rolling. So it really came from grassroots. Why Parents' Day? In every culture and time period, the family has stood as the most fundamental human institution. Family is the starting point of life, the sustainer of well-being, and the school of love. A family begins with the joining together of a man and a woman, husband and wife, becoming father and mother, and ultimately parents. Likewise, a great many single parents, widows and widowers, admirably work to provide a nurturing home and upbringing for their children. Truly, whatever the family structure, the most powerful of human bonds is the parent-child relationship. As the world struggles with the effects of family breakdown, youth violence, and a host of other critical problems, more and more voices are calling for a re-examination of our priorities and fundamental values. Too often, we have let other concerns take precedence over our responsibilities as parents. Yet, is there any more important calling than that of nurturing and raising a child? Unfortunately, our popular culture over the past several decades has emphasized self-fulfillment and self-gratification. Such focus on the self runs counter to the essence of parenthood, which fundamentally involves the expressing of unconditional true love. Parents' Day provides an opportunity to recognize and promote parenting as a central vocation for our families and communities. More than just a time to celebrate, it is an occasion to make a statement about what is important in our society. It is a chance to create a positive tradition based on a core axiom that the role of parents is crucial in the nurturing and development of children and thus requires investment, focus, and commitment. How to celebrate Parents' Day? The establishment of Parents' Day affords a wonderful opportunity for communities, organizations, churches, mosques, synagogues, and temples to honor exemplary parents and to encourage families everywhere and to invest in our most precious resource, our children. Among the most popular of these activities has been the recognition of outstanding couples and singles as parental role models who have been honored as Parents of the Year and Excellence in Parenting awardees, as we are doing here, at national, state, local, and faith community level. Parents' Day is a popular time for people to send cards and gifts, including flowers, cakes, you can send me a cake, and other expressions of love and appreciation to those who play an important role as a positive parental figure in their lives. It is also a time for families to come together for lunches or dinners or anything to celebrate parents. Special tributes to parental figures who are seen as role models are made through local announcements, at church services, or at local community events. Again, we are honored to convene this Parents' Day Award ceremony here today. Isn't that great? Yeah. So, part of what we are trying to do is get the word out more and more to churches that the pastors, and we're going to have it here tomorrow at 10 o'clock, our normal Sunday service, is have a Parents' Day themed service on Parents' Day, where that's the thing, and have all the parents. Let's celebrate all parents and all would-be parents, and even say, if you want to have a parental heart and grow a parental heart, you stand up too. So everybody stands up. You celebrate everybody, and you just lift up parenting. And you think the heavenly parent is happy about that? I kind of think so. So I'm going to invite up now Mrs. Monica Kellett to come here with me. She is one of the team members here, one of the organizers of the Women's Federation for World Peace in the Bay Area, part of the National Women's Federation for World Peace, and she's going to co-present with me our awardees today. Would you give her a hand, please? Can you say a little word?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming this morning. On behalf of Women's Federation for World Peace, we want to congratulate everyone here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, Monica. So we have several co-sponsors. Women's Federation for World Peace is one of the sponsoring organizations on the national level, the Washington Times Foundation, the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification, and also, let me read the plaque, American Clergy Leadership Conference. Okay, so we've got a lot, and of course the Universal Peace Federation. So before I get to the awardee, we have 17 awardees, okay? How about that? We have, and if you see somebody with a flower on them, that's who they are, okay? But we're going to get to them. And we have couples, we have singles, we have widow and widower, we have a spectrum. We even have one awardee who's single and never got married, and he adopted, like, I don't know, 15 kids or something like that. So, I mean, wow. Talk about go out of your way. I got time on my hands. I think I'll adopt a bunch of kids. Well, guess what you got yourself into? That's a big job. But he did it, and he did it with love. So isn't that beautiful? So it's really, really an honor. But I want to appreciate our local awards selection committee that met and went through each one of the nominations. So you were nominated. If you're here as an awardee, somebody put your name in the hat, okay, and filled out a form and interviewed you and found out things about you and offered it up. And our selection committee went through every single one of them. And I want to just give appreciation to Larry Mock, Lawrence Mock. Larry, are you in the house? There he is, or he's one of them. Let's give him a big hand. Is Jennifer Kamioka here this morning? Jennifer, did Jennifer come this morning? I know Gary Fleischman, he might be watching on TV because it is being streamed now live because a few of the awardees couldn't make it in person here. Gary Fleischman, let's give him a big hand. Jennifer Kamioka. Richard and Keiko Van Loon. Are the Van Loons in the house? There you go. Please stand up. Reverend Thompson, would you please stand up? He's our pastor. He also does. And a big round of applause for me because I helped coordinate the thing, so thank you very much. Okay. I'll give a sermon on humility next week. No, seriously, it was really fun, and I really want to thank them spending their time volunteering to go through it. It's always a treat to read. Everybody's parental story is so different. It's just like you sang the song. Everybody is designed. What was that? I wrote it down. You are a designer's original, one of a kind. Parents are one of a kind. It doesn't matter if you got 3 kids and you got 3 kids. It's a different journey. Isn't that amazing? Talk about a one of a kind God. You think you're busy? I know somebody who had 14 kids. How many kids has God had? That's a lot to keep track of. Can you imagine? Excuse me, what was your name again? Look at the back of the collar. Oh, my goodness. So I wanted to just really appreciate our nominating committee. Now, the way we're going to do it, the Zayas are here today? Did they? Okay, that's good. Will you? Hold on, I want to make sure you're here. We have 17 awardees, and we don't have enough time. We're going to present to each one. They're going to come up with their nominator and even their family members to come up. And Monica and I are going to present the certificate, a gift card. We have a nice gift card. And by the way, Amelie told me, Amelie, where are you? Amelie's right there. She said, oh, Mr. Leal, I and a few friends got together and made a nice little succulent thing for each awardee. Is that okay? Is that okay? And I said, absolutely. So on the back table, you're going to see that, and that's for an awardee couple to take one or a single attendee to take one, because there's like, I don't know, 15 or 17 or something like that. Yeah, so there's one for each awardee, okay? But isn't that sweet? Amelie, let's give them a hand again. And Jessica, I think that's very sweet. So what we're going to do is we're going to name each awardee, read what was written about them in the nomination form, and even some cases I had to shorten. One of them was short, and I had to make it a little longer. And two were like 3 or 4 pages, and I had to really kind of squeeze them down. But with all due respect to that, your life of being a parent is more than 1,000 pages. But we're not going to read them all today. But that's the story. In fact, every day is a parental journey. I mean, you could write a book on that day many times, right? So we're just really honoring parents today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, and I have them stacked in order here. We're going to go through each one, give their name, who the nominator was, and then invite them to come up with their family or whoever they're with, and then Monica and I will present, and then I will read one of them, and then the next one, Monica will read the next one. We're going to go like that. Finally, at the end, and then they sit down, one at a time. We'll take a picture of that one, go sit down, and then the next one come up. So we're going to go like that. Because of time, there's not going to be enough time for everybody to get the microphone. So the parents of the year, the final one, they're going to be able to get the microphone. But once they're done speaking, then I'm going to have everybody stand up, and whoever's got a certificate or a flower next to you, in small groups, you by yourselves, you turn to somebody who's got that, and that person's going to say, and I want to just give the heads up to the awardees, say what this means to you. Say what parenting means to you. We're going to give several minutes for that to happen, so everybody gets a chance to share. And also, after the program is over, for those that can stay, we still have a lot of food and coffee and stuff in the lobby. If you can stick around and stay so other people get a chance to meet you and hear your story, that would be wonderful. We understand if some people have to go right away, understood, but if you can stay, better. So is that fine? Then we'll have the microphone for the parents of the year, and then we'll be able to have small little clusters. All right, so we're going to proceed right away. So I'll start it right off. Okay, so the first awardee couple is Kabir and Stephanie Taymuri. Here they are. Please come on up here. And here's your beautiful certificate. Well, I should read the first one. Let me read the first certificate. Okay. This is National Parents Day, Excellence in Parenting 2021. Kabir and Stephanie Taymuri. Okay. Have been selected for special recognition because of their outstanding example of parental love and commitment to their family and for the contribution they make to their community. Good parenting plays not only a crucial role in the happiness of families, but also in the health of society as a whole. Signed Dr. Chon Chik Yong, Dr. Michael Jenkins, Reverend Luan Rouse, Reverend Ishu Rhoda, Mrs. Monica Selly, and Larry Moffett, all with those organizations I mentioned earlier. Could you give them a big hand? Woo! Okay, you hold that. Now, Monica, you get next to them. I'm going, yeah. Oh, and they get a gift card, too, $25 gift card. And you're going to get your plant when you get out there. Now, let me read a little bit about them. You're going to say, well, that's great. Why are they up there? Well, I'll tell you why they're up there. Now, I tried to make these short, but if it goes for 3 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever, with all due respect to everybody, please hang in there, okay? So Kabir and Stephanie were nominated by Jessica and Brian Lancaster. You get to come up, too. I didn't mention your name. Come on up. You're the nominators. Brian, come on up. They're the parents of the saxophone player. All right. And so they've been married for 44 years. They live in Moraga, right over the hill. 4 adults, 2 sons and 2 daughters. Mr. and Mrs. Kabir and Stephanie Taymuri are wonderful parents to their 4 children and 6 grandchildren. They raised them up to become responsible and moral citizens. Around 1970, Mr. Taymuri's extended family started migrating in waves from Afghanistan to the United States. You can imagine, right? A lot of chaos going on over there. Their family wanted to come. Okay, so every time a family arrived, they would stay at Mr. and Mrs. Taymuri's home until they could settle down on their own. So our home is open to you. Mr. Taymuri co-owned, along with his brother, automotive repair shops in Oakland. He was instrumental in helping his siblings and their family settle in the United States after they left Afghanistan when the Russians invaded the country. okay? Their couple housed them and helped them with their education and trained the kids at the workshop until they were educated. He also supported financially relatives left still back home in Afghanistan and those who became refugees in Pakistan, Iran, and Germany. This is family really helping out, okay? As for Mrs. Tamuri, she was also an international lecturer. She was invited to share research, best practices, and strategies in educating students who require multimodal strategies and equipment to access communication in the academic curriculum in South Africa, India, South Korea, Poland, Romania. Wow, you get around. You get around. Mrs. Tamuri exhibited the same sacrifice and service in her professional life as well. She's a dedicated teacher and mentor. And in fact, Mrs. Tamuri was awarded Teacher of the Year in the Oakland Unified School District in 2018. So with that, please give a big hand to the Tamuris. All right. So Alon's going to take, you get on the other side. We're going to, yeah, okay. I'll stand here and you can hold up that plaque there. And no, you can go, why don't you hop on the other side? We're still, this is the first one, so we're going to get right. And so we're flanking them. And Alon's going to take a photo. Good deal. How do I look? No. Thank you. Congratulations. Next one. All right. Gloria Dubon. Where's Gloria Dubon? Gloria, could you come up with Gloria? We got two Glorias. That's a lot of glory in one spot. Gloria and Gloria. Gloria Dubon, nominated by Gloria Frothingham. She lives in Hayward, California, has 3 adults, kids, Jorge, Melanie, and Fidel. And Monica's going to read about.
Okay. Gloria loves God and is an elder in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. She endured a very difficult marriage, but she stayed with her husband so that the children could have a stable situation. She never showed anger or fought with her husband in front of the children. Even though her marriage was difficult, she always taught her children to respect their father. To this day, they call their father once a week. She has raised her 3 children to become professionals in their chosen fields and to, above all, be God-loving people. Yes. Wonderful.
Wow, fantastic. Congratulations. Congratulations, dear. And here's your gift certificate. You want to hold that for her? Okay. And so now we're going to do another photo. If you want to get on the other side. And so Alon's going to take the photo. Thank you. Great. Thank you. Congratulations.
I came from El Salvador.
Oh, El Salvador.
Central America, and I am happy because my country is showing since 2 years ago. We are happy, expecting very good things for the poor people.
Amen. 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 We have, one of our awardee couples is also from El Salvador, so maybe you can get to know each other. We have another couple here, yes.
I do this morning.
You met them this morning. Okay, wonderful. Next, we have Denise and Darren Persh. They here this morning?
Some representative.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Lisa, where's Lisa? Is Lisa here this morning? Okay. Well, Monica's here, and she nominated them. So, Mike, would you come up here? Let's bring her husband up here.
Okay.
Now, aren't they a cute couple? Look at that. Okay, cute. So, let me read they're taking the certificate on behalf of the couple that they nominated. Why don't you hold that? And also the wow, we're honored. You're honored, yeah. They nominated a great couple. They live in San Leandro here. And let me just, they're from Clayton, huh? Clayton is near Walnut Creek. That's right. It's the other side of the hill here. So Denise and Darren Persh, who couldn't make it today, They've been 21 years married. They have 3 children. And Denise grew up in a foster home. She didn't take the position of a victim, but instead put herself through school, achieving a Bachelor of Science from Arizona State University and a master's degree in psychology from San Jose State University. Regarding family life, she begged to God for children. And God granted her a child at the age of 44 and twins at age 49. I think some of you ladies do moan the most, I think. That's a load. She takes pride, and that was 14 years ago, she takes pride in the statement, "I am just a stay-at-home mom," because she's a busy gal. As a responsible parent, she volunteered 4,000 hours to confront school boards regarding comprehensive sex education, which she believed was harmful to the way it was taught to children. She spent many of those volunteer hours as a citizen supporting legislative bill that would have the public schools be transparent about what they're teaching regarding sex education curricula, and for students to have the opportunity to opt in instead of requiring them to opt out of those kind of classes. However, the state legislature in California killed the bill. Nonetheless, she continues to help countless parents on these kinds of important issues. Darren, the husband, is an attorney working in healthcare compliance and is an ardent supporter of Denise's activities. He spends his time coaching the kids with various activities, including music and softball, and he is the easier parenting style of the two. That's always a good one for communication skills, which I do a lot of, okay? My job. He is a loving father and a pragmatist in all matters. Does that mean he's the guy on the ground holding the kite that's flying around? I find that if a couple are both kites with a string connected to them, they can fly away. So somebody's usually on the ground and somebody's flying around, so that often happens like that. Darren is always a good listener, and their children know him as a fair arbiter who exhibits patience with usually few words, thus allowing the kids to voice their opinions on matters or issues, but always bringing them back to the family's core values. So let's give a big hand to Denise and Darren Perk. Thank you for nominating them. Thanks for nominating them. We'll take a photo. Thank you. Great, Mike. Beautiful. All right. Keep on going. Now, this couple here is up in Elverta, which is a small town north of Sacramento. Doug and Karen Dimitri. They could not attend because of the distance, but Michael Thick is here from Sacramento, and he and his wife Tomoko Thick nominated them. Mike, would you come up here, please? Michael Thick. Let's welcome Michael.
Can I give it to him?
Yeah, you'll be able to do this one, right?
That's right, yes.
So let me just, okay, so they've been married, Doug and Karen Dimitri have been married for 35 years. They have 3 children, 2 sons, a granddaughter, 9 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, 14 great-great-great-grandchildren, 50, no, I'm just kidding. They would have to be Methuselah, but they stopped at great-grandchildren. That's what they got. Okay. So
shall I read this? Yeah. Okay. Doug was a successful businessman owning a few Ace Hardware stores. He was married previously, but after that married Karen, who was a single mother at the time. Things were fine, but then son Josh, 22 at the time, was shot in the neck and almost died and was left permanently disabled. That was 24 years ago. Since then, Josh has needed 24-hour supervision. Doug and Karen spent most of their wealth supporting and hiring nurses to take care of him. Doug then became a real estate agent because the time flexibility enabled him to be more with his family and care for Josh's needs. Doug passed away on December 23rd, 2020. He was a man of faith and very involved in Christians in commerce. He also supported many charities. Doug truly embodied living for the sake of others, regardless of his and his family's hardships. Since Doug's death, Karen has taken on responsibility to care for their son.
Amen. Thank you. Let's give a big hand. And I heard from Karen that she was unable to come today, mainly because she's got to be home with her son. So, of course, how sad and tragic that story is, but it just shows in parenting, things come your way. And how you handle it, and fortunately, they've handled it as well as they could with faith and love and support. So we really want to appreciate it. Thank you, Michael, for nominating them. Michael and Tomoko. So, again, on your side, we'll take a picture with Michael. Thank you. Thanks, Michael. Give her our best. Yeah. Now, I've known this couple a while now. Okay. This is Reverend Kazuya and Yelena Morita, who are members of our faith community here. Please come on. They were nominated by Yuki Tanaka. Please come up. Yuki. They live in Hayward, California. They've been married more than 20 years. How many years? I have more than 20. How many? 21. That's more than 20. Here's your gift card. What else is new, right? The husband says, really? How long we've been married? They have 3 kids, Songse, 21, Dennis, 18, and their little boy, Kenshu, passed away when he was 5 years old. This was several years ago. I'll read this one. Reverend Kazuya and Yelena Morita, who are outstanding members here at the Bay Area Family Church, by the way, have devoted their lives to the youth and young adults of our faith community for many years, even after enduring the passing of their youngest son, Kenshu, when he was only 5 years old. Nonetheless, Kazuya and Yelena served our faith community with love and ability, and frankly, a lot of investment of time. The past year, they served as parental figures for many young adults in a variety of ministries: youth ministry, young adult ministry, Collegiate Association for the Research of Principle, for the Young Clergy Leadership Conference, and many other things. They served at workshops, whether it be giving guidance or handling logistics, even cooking in the kitchen. I was with them a couple of weeks ago, and they were working feverishly in the kitchen. He mostly set up tables. She was doing the hard work. No, they both worked really hard. They both worked really hard. And they also served individuals, and this is the big one. When you work in a big community like this, or any community, there's organizational stuff. The big time is when it's one-on-one. That's where it really gets down, and you really got to be very specific. That custom-designed thing that Sandra was singing about, everybody's unique, and sometimes very unique one-on-one care for consolation, guidance, etc. Oh, yes, okay. The past summer, the two of them cooked, I jumped in, for the entire CARP workshop up in Pine Bluff. No, not Pine Bluff, that's Arkansas. This would be Twain Harte. Yeah, it's close to Pine Bluff, but anyway. Consisting of nearly 30 people for 7 days and nights, okay? They love not only their own children, but the children of many other families as well. Would you give a big hand to Kazuya and Yelena Morita? You want to hop over there on the other side? We'll take my photo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Yuki, for nominating them. Appreciate that. It was easy. Thank you, thank you. Next, we have Jim and Lorraine McKelvey, nominated by Atsuko and Peter Califano. They live in San Leandro, married for 27 years. 2 adult sons, Anthony and David. And let me give the certificate. This is Jim and Lorraine. Could you give it to them? And also, we have a nice gift certificate. We're going to get your plant outside. There's Atsuko Califano. Thank you. All right. So now, Monica's going to read about them.
When Jim and Lorraine got married, they talked about have children. But when they saw so many parentless children in the world, they thought it would be better to foster and adopt rather than give birth to their own. So they got involved in the foster system and ultimately adopted their two sons, Anthony and David, at 2 years old and 4 years old, respectively. While the couple raised these boys as their own, they were always mindful of the other children in the neighborhood. With the heart of a parent, both Jim and Lorraine constantly had their doors open to the children of the neighborhood. Come on in. You're welcome anytime. Wonderful. Through the strength of their faith and shared beliefs, they have led exemplary parental roles as an interracial couple through loving and respecting all people. They have overcome the unique and inherent challenges that comes with both being foster parents and coming from different backgrounds.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
thank you, thank you, thank you, Monica. Beautiful. You want to go on? Okay, you can go. Yeah, that's perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you. Getting a little misty up there? Yes. We might need some Kleenex. You know, I was going to pull out my handkerchief. My wife would have said, "What are you doing with that thing? Put that back." So she knows me. I'm always, I got that eternal drip. So if somebody can get some, thank you, Mike. We have a widow lady, and then thank you, Mike, and then also her mother, who are not here today. Thank you. For our next awardee, you get a year's supply of. I'm glad I didn't ask for toilet paper. Don't get any, okay? Okay. Burger and fries, though, that would be, okay. No. Well, I'd like to invite up to receive, on behalf of these two fine women, Michael and Kikino Allen, who nominated them. Would you please come up at this time? Let's welcome them. And we're going to read Anita Prasad and her mother, Janak Raj. I think I may have said that correctly. Mike, if you want to hold this one. And we have a gift certificate for both parents, both ladies, the daughter and the mother. Let's go with the daughter first. Anita Prasad, who's now a widow, was married more than 20 years, lives in Hayward. They have one son, Kunal, who is 21 years old. I think this is touching. I might need some of that stuff. Bring the toilet paper, will you? No. Anita lost her husband 19 years ago when they resided in the Fiji Islands. As a single parent, she faced many difficulties and decided to move to the United States in order to provide the best education for her son and take care of her aging parents who were here. Anita has been a consistently good example for her son, even though she had to work hard and has her own health problems. For the benefit of her son, she chose not to remarry, being concerned that a future husband may not accept or treat her son well. She has lived with the loving memory of her late husband since the time of his passing. Anita has shown to be a wonderfully positive and loving parent who sacrificially and responsibly put her son and family before her own needs and comfort. Would you give a hand to her? The mother, Janak Raj, this is the mother of Anita. She was married more than 60 years, okay? She has 4 adult children, including Anita, and 1 daughter and 3 sons. Janak has shown to be a responsible and caring parent who consistently loves, serves, and cares for her children. She suffered the pain of losing twin sons, which no parent should have to experience. Later, she lost her husband. But despite these challenges, she still happily serves her children and family and prays constantly for them. My wife, Kimiko, who's here, and Kikino, went to visit their family the other day to just mention about this. And they had met them a few weeks ago to get the information to say, we want to nominate you. And my wife was so excited and this and that. But already, was it Parkinson's that she has, or some kind of, some dementia? Dementia is already taking hold. And in the span of just a couple, 3 weeks, my wife said that she looked extremely different and almost unable to communicate. Such is the way that the brain can do things. So it was just because the idea was that maybe they would be able to come and be with us today. But it just shows you the way that life moves. And at the same time, we're able to give a really wonderful honor to them. And by the way, whoever's not here today, not only do they get the plaque and the gift card, and did I give you 2 gift cards? I should give you. Okay, good. And the plan, but they're also going to get their corsage. Okay, so even my wife said, honey, they're not going to be here. They're going to be dead. I don't care. They can turn it upside down and hang it as dried flour at the refrigerator. So anyway, everybody gets what everybody gets. So Mike's going to take back flowers and all those good things. So with that, we really want to appreciate Anita and Janak, and we're going to take a photo now. All right, yeah, that's nice. Give them a big hand, big hand. Thank you. Amazing stories. Okay, got more to come. Miss Ronette Chase, nominated by Elizabeth and Marcus Berge. All of you come up, please. Woo! Ronette's from Oakland, married 12 years, 3 children, and 3 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. Wow. Here you go. Okay. Let's get the certificate first. Ronette, here you go. Congratulations. Here's your gift certificate. Gift card for you. You're welcome.
Okay.
I'm a great-grandmother. I have 3 4 grandkids, 2 greats.
That's what happens when you get married at 2 years old.
All right, I'll read. Ronette is a deeply religious and prayerful senior citizen who loves and supports her children and grandchildren. She's constantly interacting with each of them one-on-one, serving them in the specific needs they each have, whether having deep and meaningful conversations, listening to support them as needed, cooking meals when they don't have the time or are sick. That's why her entire family loves and appreciates her so much.
All right.
Clearly, Ronette is a model mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother.
There you go.
I also wanted to say I was a foster parent for over 20 years. My first adopted child, my first foster child, I adopted him. He's 33 years old, doing quite well, and lives in Florida.
Wow. Thank you. No, this is a very, thank you very much. And we've heard a few of those stories already, just in the handful of people we've mentioned, fostering, adopting. There's a lot of young people out there that need somebody, that need parental love. And without it, it's going to be a different life for them. So, and we know well, it's one thing to biologically have a child, it's another thing to be an active parent. So we're really talking about being very active. And when somebody goes out of their way to adopt or foster and take responsibility, that's very commendable. So thank you. Thank you, Ronette, and the others who have done the same. Give them a big hand to all the adoptive parents. Thank you. Beautiful. Now here's a couple that is not here today, and I'm going to ask Michael Thick to come up again. Mike, if you please come up here. This couple lives in Marysville. Marysville is Yuba County. It's straight up north on your way going to Sacramento. You make a left and you keep on going high. My grandparents used to have a rice farm up there. But anyway, this couple is nominated by Bob and Marie Galper of Wheatland, California. This is Pastor Darlene and Maurice Dennis of Marysville, married 38 years. Mike, if you would please hold that. And I'm going to give the gift card. Monica, if you would get that to him. And then I'm going to read about them. They are, Pastor Darlene and Maurice Dennis are a blended family with 11 kids. Okay? And this is what Marie wrote. I admire Darlene and Maurice because their adult children have taken ownership of their faith and are supporting Darlene's ministry. Even grandchildren participate, making a 3-generation community of faith. Wow. There are many challenges while raising 11 children. Attending to their clothing, hair, and dealing with each child according to his or her personality, making sure they all get fed, etc. Darlene wanted to be a career woman, but her husband said, honey, please stay at home with the children. She did so and made sure every child had proper clothing, shoes, bedtime stories, that they were clean and stayed out of trouble. She ministered to them. Some were in ministry as little children. She trained them in praise dancing, sign language, and how to speak before people, in front of people. Through prayer, she was able to do all this. It was hard for Darlene to submit to her husband when he said, quit your job. But now she realizes it was the best choice she ever made. Now Darlene leads her own ministry, the Abundant Living Church in Marysville. Some of their children are in ministry, some are just now coming back into the ministry. Darlene says, we are a blended family, his and hers, but we never used the word stepchild or step-parent. They were just family, she said. They didn't step on one another either. I thought that was cute. The word divorce was never even mentioned, no matter how I felt, she said. Maurice says Darlene is a good mother and was always there for the kids. They did family things together and God was with them. God kept her in perfect peace. She just loved being there for her kids. She prayed for them every night, sometimes anointing them with oil as they slept. Now they know how to pray. All right, let's give a big hand. This is to Pastor Darlene and Maurice Dennis. Oh, Mike, come back up. Now, this person lives actually in the town where Bob and Marie are at. That's also Wheatland, which is also the same area. And it was just too complicated to get down here in time to, it's kind of 2.5 hours away. This is Robert H. or Bob Coe Jr., got 8 children, 15 to 53 years old. Did you hear that? The kids are 15 to 53 years old, adopted or he's legal guardian of. And I'm going to let, not married, I'm going to let then Monica read about Bob.
Okay. All right. Since long before we ever had the pleasure of knowing Bob, he has been a champion foster parent, making an immeasurable difference in the lives of the many young people that he has taken into his beautiful home. While the total number of his foster children is too many to list, the names mentioned here are just the foster kids from whom Bob adopted and whose legal guardian he ultimately became. Bob has always had a big heart for these throwaway or at-risk youth and has warmly welcomed them into his life. He regularly takes them with him on exciting overseas vacations. In addition to his fostering, Bob has a noteworthy record of service to the community, currently serving as vice mayor of the city of Wheatland. He has also served on the Adoption Care Agency board for more than 15 years and on the Wheatland High School board for 28. He has been on the Wheatland City Council for the past 6 years.
Thank you. Beautiful. Let's give a big hand to Bob Coe. in a lot of pictures. He's also got a lot of gift cards in his pocket. I saw that. Oh, this is a good one here. This is Mr. Gabby Moraleda, nominated by Jessica and Brian Lancaster. And the family. And Emily. Oh, Emily, come on up here. Okay. Emily Van Galen, please come up. Jessica's coming up. Now, Gabrielito, his name is Gabrielito, which means little Gabriel, right? But his parents, it's funny, his parents named him Gabrielito. I guess they felt he'll always be a baby. So he told me this morning, he said, yeah, I spun it around and I named my boy Gabriel. So he lives in Foster City, 3 adult children, 2 sons and two daughters and a son. Mr. Gabi Moradeta is a great father who has raised his children around church values, faith values. He's a good example of faith and in action, especially in giving tithes. Not only is he a regular tither, but so are his children. Any pastor in the house? You might want to get this guy. No, but it's very, very, it's one thing to show up, it's another thing to pay up, okay? Because it's nice to be able to offer up what God has blessed you with and keep shining it on for the rest of the congregation. He is currently, and here's one of the big things, in addition to being a great dad, by the way, he was married for 14 years and his wife died due to cancer. Gabi, when did your wife pass away? 04. Okay, so he's a widower, okay, his wife passed. But he is the executive director of the Filipino Senior Resource Center in San Francisco, serving the needs of the Filipino seniors and their families all throughout the San Francisco area. Big job, very important. Let's give him a big hand. Okay. We'll do a photo. I don't know, Filipino shirts are the best shirts I've ever seen. They know how to do it. It gets hot over there, right? Is that part of the reason? Next is Elizabeth Sanchez. There she is. Wow, welcome her up. Elizabeth, wow, how colorful. You look so beautiful, my gosh. Nominated by my friend, longtime co-worker in the relationship skills activities, he's a teacher just like me, Dan Moran from Hayward, California, and this is his cousin. Okay, she's a single mother. She's raised 2 kids, Lorenzo and a daughter, Lauren, and we're now going to have, first of all, give the certificate. There you go. Come on over, Liz. All right. And then here's your gift card. Keep it away from Mike Thick, whatever you do. Hold on to that. Yeah, keep an eye on Mike Thick. Okay, come on over here more. We're going to read a little bit about you.
All right, here's all about you. Liz is very unselfish with her time and is intentional in the way she maintains relationships with her children. Her empathetic character enables her to show understanding towards the thoughts and feelings of her children in all stages of their growth. Her presence at all the important events and milestones of her children speaks volumes of her commitment to their well-being. She does not expect anything in return. However, her efforts are honored by her children's love and respect for her. Being a single mom, not only did she transport her kids to and from school, sports, and church activities, faithfully every Saturday, she was an Uber driver and also a personal assistant for an elderly widow who was 90 years old until she was 99. Even if it was a holiday, she would still make a way. Liz has had the obvious struggle of a one-income household. However, she has been able to gain a prominent place in city government, working for the city of Hayward. This has enabled her to provide for her children's health and welfare through the years. Her son Lorenzo has recently graduated from Fresno State University, and daughter Lorraine is currently attending college as well. Liz has also overcome physical obstacles. 6 years ago, she was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. Her faith in God has allowed her to fight this disease head on, and she is thriving daily. Wonderful. Her efforts during the pandemic to give aid to others is exemplary. When there is more food than families, she has called me to help distribute to other agencies in the area so nothing would go to waste. She is a very focused servant who will not let anything distract her from serving at home, at church, or in the community at large. For this reason and others, I enthusiastically nominate my cousin Elizabeth Sanchez for a Parents' Day Award.
Amen.
Both my children are working, so they couldn't make it today.
Amen, thank you. Dan, you touched it. Thank you. Minister Dan Moran, again, I've known him for 20 years. He's in Texas right now because he's very active in his church and they do a lot of things. So congratulations, Liz. Thank you. That is a beautiful outfit you got, by the way. I love the color. Oh, my gosh. Next, we have a couple. They could not be here today. She actually has a commitment. Her pastor has a book signing ceremony, and she's organizing it. So at the same time. So she's out doing that. So hold on to that. Keep an eye on this. Okay. This is Mr. Roy Onyebor and Dr. Veronica Ufegbune. I'm not sure, but they're a couple. Nominated by Bruna Allen, who's now back in the Midwest. They live in Oakland, California, married 35 years. They have 4 adult children. Roy and Veronica are proud Nigerian Americans who have given and continue to give at home in the United States and to Nigeria to impact lives in both nations. Their kindness and generosity extended early on to the Nigerian community of their kingdom in their homeland by spending whatever they could divvy up from their resources and their time to alleviate suffering there. Veronica and Roy have sent financial support to low-income families to pay rent, pay children's school tuition, purchase school uniforms and supplies, or put food on the table. They, and especially Roy, have also helped such families and widows with financial constraints by giving them startup funds and guiding them with startup mentorship. How to manage your money. That's a big one, isn't it? I had the honor, this is Bruna saying, I had the honor of working with Dr. Veronica when I served with her on the board of directors of the United Nations Association of the East Bay chapter, where she is still serving. Her husband Roy has provided assistance to several UNA, United Nations Association programs, including Bring Back Our Girls events in 2014. You may be aware of the kidnapping of some Nigerian girls from a girls' school over there by the kind of guerrilla fighters that are communist kind of fighters there. And so can you imagine? Your school gets invaded, where'd the girls go? They took them. So that happened in 2004. So they're working on that and doing the best they can and spread awareness about the 300 girls who were kidnapped. Those parents have done a marvelous job. These parents have done a marvelous job with raising their 4 children. Roy contributed side by side with his wife to their children's upbringing, as well as taking on child care oftentimes when Veronica engaged in schooling and other community organizations. As young adults now, their children are imitating the altruistic examples received by their parents and excel in their own fields as lawyer, graphic designer, movie maker, and chef. All 4 children are doing those things. So let's give a big hand to Roy and Veronica. right. Next, we are going to honor William and Emma Guzman of San Leandro, nominated by Bento and Kimiko Leal. The Guzmans have been married for 12 years. They have 3 children: William, 11 years old, Alvaro, 8 years old, and Lillian, daughter, 5 years old. Come on up. They're also from El Salvador. This is one from El Salvador. Handsome, handsome. Here's your gift card. All right. So
Shall I read?
Monica's going to read this one.
Right. William and Emma are remarkable parents. They both have full-time jobs. Emma in the daytime and William swing shift late at night. They each had opportunities to take better jobs with more pay this past year, which would have greatly helped their families' finances, but they had to turn down those jobs because they needed to work their schedules so that at least one of them was home with their minor children, while their children were taking their classes virtually at home this past school year due to COVID. It was a huge challenge, but they made it work due to their commitment to their children. Also, one of their sons has mild autism, which requires their constant supervision and care. While doing all the above, they both make regular visits to their parents who live in the area, helping the parents with house cleaning, auto and home repairs, and filling out forms and any other necessary paperwork, since the parents are first language Spanish and often have difficulty with the English. On top of all this, Emma receives donations of clothing, toys, and household items from her network of friends to ship to a childhood friend who is a Catholic priest in her native El Salvador, who then delivers those items to poor families in the low-income rural areas. Emma then puts these items in large boxes and ships them to the priest 2 to 3 times a year at a cost of about $400 per shipment, with which she and William donate, even though their own family budget is very tight. Wow. Remarkable. With all the above going on in their lives, William and Emma are a close, loving couple and model parents who are deeply religious and offer everything they have and do with a grateful heart.
Amen. All right, thank you. Thank you. And when he's not working and not overseeing schooling, he's watching soccer on TV all the time. So he's going to watch today. Oh, is that it? Where's the other one? Almost. No, one more. Oh, yeah. Let's give a big hand to Monica for helping me out. We got a couple more. I think we have one more. Oh, I got Mary Jackson here. Okay, so we do have Mary Jackson right there. So now I'm going to invite up Mary Jackson. Mary and David Jackson are coming. Mary is here. David is unable to attend today. And she's going to come up with Amelie and Johannes. Sandra, would you come up also? I might need a song up here while you're coming. So. And Amelie nominated David and Mary Jackson of Hayward, California. They're married for 27 years. Let me give the certificate to Mary. There you go. You look gorgeous. And then Nice. Beautiful. Thank you. And David and Mary have 2 adult sons, Frank and David. Frank is 40 years old, and David Jr. is 38. David and Mary are the parents of 2 sons and the grandparents of Frank's 2 children. David and Mary raised their family in a spiritual home with spiritual values. Both sons have excelled in their professional careers and, more importantly, are fine young men. David and Mary are deacon and deaconess in Palma Sia Baptist Church in Hayward. Mary sings in the choir and is bereavement coordinator and helps with Sunday school, Bible study, and more. David retired from the Postal Service after 42 years and is a Purple Heart veteran of the Vietnam War. He was the point soldier leading his troop, and he stepped on a mine. It blew him up. All the shrapnel covered his body. They stitched him up and sent him home. Because of his sacrifice, his entire troop was saved. He's a heroic patriot for our country. Could you just give him a hand for that? David is a member of the male chorus at church, Brotherhood, a program they have, Sunday school, and weekly Bible study. Mainly, he's an actively involved father and grandpa, and they call him Papa Doc. Okay? So, David and Mary are exemplary couple, parents, grandchildren, and serve their church and larger community and are worthy of this award. Let's give them a big hand. Okay, now we're getting to our local Parents of the Year. But before we do that, let me just say once again about the Guzmans. I nominated them for national consideration at the program tomorrow. And I did that a few weeks ago. And I typed in everything that you heard about taking care of their family and about raising their kids, giving up jobs when they could have taken more, but they had to stay home, so kids were online, and so they had to make sure that was okay. And then on top of that, sending all these gifts to El Salvador, the rural people. Well, they liked what they read, and they're going to be honored tomorrow on a national event. One of the categories is Parents of the Year for Outstanding Sacrifice. Thank you. You know what? You know, and none of you in the audience, including them, said, when am I ever going to get a plaque for being a parent? When are they finally going to award me for that? No. But this is what happens when you just do your thing and somebody somewhere is going to say, we really appreciate you. And that goes for them and everybody getting awarded. And even those that are not getting awarded today, but our parents, like Dr. Durst here. Now talk about Methuselah. He's up there also in the neighborhood. I think he had coffee this morning with Methuselah. Dr. Durst helped guide me to find my way with the Lord. So I really, would you give a hand to Dr. Durst? Well, we were talking earlier. He says how much his kids and grandkids still come to him, bow down with respect to him, and really with love and appreciation. And how many people are parents here in the house? Can you just raise your hand? Would you give a hand clap to all those parents? And all you kids, there's a lot of young people in the house. Someday you'll have parents. And you wonder, your parents do this, your parents do that, but trust me, your parents love you so much. They often don't know how to do it very well or to say it all the time, or sometimes parents can get busy and even cranky or this or that, but underneath all of those things, they live day and night for you to make your life better. Isn't that true, parents? Isn't that true? Well, now we come to our local Parents of the Year. Wow. And we would like to invite up Pastor Tennille and Daniel Zayas to come up with their kids and whoever you brought with you. Are you part of the family? Please come. color coordinated. My God. Good to see you, buddy, man. You're a big fella. Oh, boy, oh, boy. You know, one time I met this really big guy, and, like, a real big guy. I said, man, you must have been a lineman. No, I was a defensive back. That's what happens when you quit football. You put on a few. So, welcome, man. Bless you. Who are you?
My real mother.
Oh, how fabulous. Beautiful. Looking great. Looking great. Okay, well, let me read this. Nominated by Bruna Allen, who's not here today. Did I give you all the things? Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, here. You get this one. You get a $100 gift certificate. Mike Thick is in that row in the back there. Okay, Joshua, they have 3 kids. Joshua, 18, Nevai, which is heaven spelled backwards. But she's going forward, okay? And Jaslyn also, right, sweetie? Oh, she looks gorgeous. Okay, let me read this. Daniel and Tennille Zayas are an interracial couple. Daniel is 100% Puerto Rican and was raised in a devout Catholic family with a deep Puerto Rican heritage. Besides working long hours to support his family, Daniel dedicates a lot of time to helping the homeless. Tennille, his wife, is a born-again Christian and biracial, half black, half white. She said she was exposed to racism in her mother's family, originally from a very racist part of Virginia. Growing up, she heard them a lot referring to black people using the N-word. How unsettling and confusing that was for her. But God had a good plan in store for her and got her to feel from a young age an ever-growing pull to be a minister. The challenges she faced, especially the more difficult ones, solidified that call within her. Tennille is indeed a dynamic pastor, as is her father, who is equally energizing as well as compassionate pastor and prophet. She was ordained an evangelist by Bishop Louis Candy in 2002 and became a pastor in 2008. Tennille and her dad ministered to their faithful together at Sunday service at their Time for Christ Ministries Empowerment Center. That's their congregation. Time for Christ Ministries Empowerment Center. Daniel and Tennille have been united in the commitment to greatly influence the lives of both their own biological children and the many others God sends on their path through their devotion to making a difference by connecting people to faith, serving them, sacrificially using their own time and resources, and donating to those in need. Daniel and Tennille work in collaboration with many inner-city faith-based organizations in the San Francisco Bay Area to bring about effective change both socially and spiritually in the lives of the often overlooked and underserved. Tennille focuses much of her efforts and resources towards providing ministry and services to build up and empower emotionally distressed women and young girls. Daniel and Tennille serve those less fortunate by feeding the homeless at the barbecue lunches they organize at their own center on major holidays, and by supporting local pantries and by providing free haircuts and grooming services. They have heavily relied on their faith through the many challenges that they have faced as a family. Tennille suffered from many serious medical conditions. She overcame a brain tumor and had 12 additional surgeries where many of her organs were removed. Wow. Your heart's still there, that's for sure. Through it all, Daniel sustained her with his faith and love and encouraged their children to pray for Mom and never give up hope. Wow. Talk about infirmity bringing you together. Overcoming physical ordeals was not the only painful experience Isaiah's family has endured. At one point, they went through financial obstacles that left them homeless for some time. But in spite of all they suffered, Daniel and Tennille have not only never wavered in their faith or service to others, but have also raised their children in the love of God and for God. That was possible because they welcomed God in their lives together as husband and wife, and God sustained them, giving them the strength to overcome all trials. Their lives have been a powerful witness for their followers, relatives, and friends to the true love that exists when God is present in the couple, because it can then spread to the whole family and beyond to the community. And this is why, out of all the wonderful awardees, our selection committee It was very, very close with many of the awardees. We felt that this couple would be deserving to be our local Parents of the Year for 2021. Would you give them a big hand? Daniel and Tania, could you stand up? Give me a stand up. That'd be very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to have you come and give a few words. Have a seat, everybody. Have a seat. So what we're going to do now, we're going to hear some words of appreciation, a little bit, a few minutes, from Tennille and Daniel. And then after they share a few words, we got some flowers. For me? No, come on. Okay. Masako Thompson is bringing up flowers. This is the pastor's wife. Masako Thompson bringing up special flowers. Thank you. Stay up here, Masako, stay there. And so we're going to do photos. Let's do photos. Okay, yeah, a little bit tighter. Good, good, good. What a cute family. All right, right. So they're going to give a few words, and after they give a few words, we're going to ask everybody to stand up for several minutes to get to know a little bit the awardees in your area that have the plaques, and they can share why this is meaningful to them. But for representing everybody at the mic, we're going to ask the Zayas to say a few words.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and God bless all of you. I first want to just give God the glory and the thanks for this acknowledgement, and I want to thank the committee and Miss Bruna Allen, who has been just a blessing from the moment she walked into our lives. This is such an honor, and it means so much to me because I do believe that being a parent is one of the greatest gifts that God can give one of us. And I was thinking as we were driving in this morning about the word of the Lord. And Psalms 127 came to me, and it says that children are a heritage from the Lord. And I thought about what is heritage? You know, I think about race or where I come from or where my people are from, but heritage is so much more than that. I happened to look it up, and it said that it is a valued possession, a special thing, a special object. And I thought about how special we all are, and it was confirmed when the beautiful lady was up here singing about being specially designed. And then to listen to the stories of all the amazing awardees. I am so honored and I don't want to cry, but I am just so honored to be counted among you, to see and to hear how you are making a difference in the lives of so many people, not just your children, but the people in El Salvador that you're blessing, that are in need, the children that did not have a mother and father, but were adopted and treated and cared for as their own, to sacrifice yourself, your husband, to sacrifice yourself to give someone else a chance. To me, these all are wonderful reminders of what it is to love unconditionally. And I think about how much God loves us, and he calls us to love him first and foremost, but then to love our neighbors as ourselves. And I think about each person that got up here today, there was a portion of that shared. And I know our stories are far greater than what we can share in a few moments on a piece of paper. But I really just want to take this opportunity to say thank you and to honor my husband's parents who are not able to be with us. They're in Florida, Felipe and Lydia Zayas, because they've done a wonderful job in creating me a wonderful husband. I want to thank my parents who are here today, my mother, Linda, who is here on the stage, and my father, Pastor Shaman, who is in the audience. I want to thank them because I would not be where I am today as a woman, as a person, a pastor, a mother, had it not been for two very key things that they taught me. The first is that you need to have God at the center of all that you do, and that your faith will see you through some of the most darkest, challenging times that life will throw at you. And the other thing is that love is the greatest gift of all. And God and love are really one and the same. But I've watched my parents, because of their love for us, struggle. I've watched my parents not give up. My mother, who happens to be here today, is an extra special blessing. My mother is stage 4 terminal with cancer. They gave her 3 months to a year max 2 years ago. God is good. And I thank God that he constantly reminds me through little moments like this, that are actually big moments, how much he loves me. And I hope and pray that as I continue with my husband to raise our children, these are the babies of the group, that they will continue to see what it means to have a healthy relationship with God and how important it is to serve. God bless all of you, and thank you so much for this wonderful honor. Just say thank you. Just say thank you. Just say thank you.
I just want to say thank you. I'm a man of very few words, and I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to be here, and it's a blessing. And God bless you all. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you. Congratulations. You got the photo already? You did the photo already. Okay, yeah, we did that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bless you, bless you, bless you. Wow. What do you think of all of our awardees? Oh my gosh. You know, I think God is very happy today. I think God is very, very happy to see how so many of his children are doing well, but so many of his children are appreciating his other children, like we are doing now. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be? It's supposed to be our relationship with God, but also how we see God in each other, how we embrace each other, how one is lifted up, we're all lifted up, right? If somebody's struggling, we're all struggling, but how we really are a community. Many of you, we all don't know each other. Some of us here, I know the faith community that I'm part of that happens to be in this church, but I've met many new people today. You met a lot of new people. But there's something about them you already know. You're my brother and sister I just had yet to meet. That's it. I just need to know your story. We're breathing the same air. In fact, we have more in common than people lived 100 years ago or 100 years further. We're here now, and we live in the Bay Area. We actually see each other. So we're really part of a local family. So what we want to do now is, again, give a big hand clap to everybody, would you please? I want to spend a few minutes trying to think of the best way to do this. We were thinking, well, maybe afterwards just meet in the lobby. We have that also, but maybe some people just have to go right away. We're going to all stand up, and I want, even though the pews are the way they are, I want you to kind of turn around and make little clusters and just get to appreciate each other. Thank the person congratulate the person who got the award, and maybe the person who didn't get a chance to say a few words up here, which is almost everybody, except for the Zayas, that they can share what this means to them. We're going to spend just about 5 or so minutes doing that. So would that be okay? And that way you can get a little personal touch with each person. So go ahead, please do that now. Let's just stand up and greet each other. Okay. Will be another few minutes, then we'll have some closing remarks and a group photo. So please continue talking, and then we'll come back for some closing remarks. Oh, yeah, yeah. Are you the dad? Are you the father? Couple more minutes, then we'll gather back for closing remarks and a group photo. Couple of minutes. Okay, everybody, thank you. Thank you. Let's gather back. Everybody, let's gather back now. Okay, we're going to close soon. Okay, that was a little chance to get together. All right. Thank you. I'd like to invite up Pastor Kevin Thompson now, pastor of the Bay Area Family Church for the past 30 years, to give some remarks, and then we're going to have a group photo. And yeah, I think closing remarks and closing prayer, and then we do the group photo. We're going to have a closing remarks, he'll give closing prayer, and then we'll all come up for a group photo. How about that? And that means all the nominators and all the people come up here, and family members. So Pastor Thompson.
You're better off doing the picture that way.
Do the picture that way. Okay, we'll do that. Well, that'll be a good idea. So after his message then and prayer, then we're going to have the awardees in the middle here with your certificates held up. Family members and nominators around you will be able to do it right there. Thank you, Pastor.
Okay, thank you. It's been a wonderful morning. I'm deeply moved by everybody who has been recognized today. I mean, any one of you could have been the Parents of the Year. Your stories are phenomenal. And, you know, in the Bible it says we should honor our father and mother so that we live long in the land. It's not a suggestion. It's really what we should do. And so we promote Parents' Day every year. I would ask you, if you are a pastor or if you belong to a church, ask your church to do this next year. It's a wonderful thing to do in any church, because when you honor parents, I believe you're honoring God, because God's the ultimate parent. God's the parent of us all. We are one family under God. And, you know, God started off by making the first children, but then handed it off to us. Just like, you know, my wife and I had 5 children, and then we handed it off to our children to make the children. And then our grandchildren, it'll go like that. So when you act like a good parent, you're really living in the image of God. The Bible says we're all made in the image of God. The ultimate image of God is when we act like a parent, because that's who God is. God is our parent. So I honor each and every one of you for all that you're doing. And we know that behind every one, there's many, many stories. It's not all peaches and cream being a parent, right? Anybody experience some difficulties? and then you get to being a grandparent. They say grandparenting is the reward for not having killed your children. And then that young lady over there who's a great grandparent, good Lord, you are so close to God you don't even recognize it. Unbelievable. So God bless you all. And by the way, Mr. Leal has been doing this for many years, and he's getting better at it, isn't he? Let's give him a big hand. So tomorrow is the official National Parents' Day. I hope in many churches you can honor that and respect that, and maybe lift up one or two of the families in your church who are really outstanding parents. We are doing this nationwide this weekend, and we're having a big celebration in Washington, D.C., as you heard, because we want to promote parenting. Good parenting means good nation. Right? If you have good families, you have good society. If you have good society, you'll have a good nation. When the family falls apart, we have a mess on our hands. So that's why parenting is so important. So I honor each and every one of you and thank you for coming today. And let's close with prayer. Beloved God, the parent of us all, thank you for all the blessings in our life. We are so loved and so appreciate everything you've given to us. Especially we appreciate our families. It's through our families that we can experience every kind of love there is. And yes, there are challenges, but those challenges also strengthen us. And they make us even better people. So in everything we have, everything we do, we offer it all back to you with joy and glory in our hearts. And especially with these parents here today, I want to ask for your special anointing and blessing on each and every one of them. And we offer it all back to you. And I pray in your Son's name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Pastor. So we want to get Alon over here, and we want to have all the awardees over here, and we're going to have a photo from here going there.
Okay, so we just need to squeeze in a little bit.
Squeeze in a little bit.
Awardees, if you could get on the front two rows, that'd be great. No, stay right where you are. We're going to take the picture this way. You'll be sitting.
Oh, you did great. You did great, yeah.
Just squeeze in. Gloria, room right here in the front for you.
Don't forget awardees, you got the flannel.
Okay, everybody else, please come in. Come in. Don't be shy. All you guys over there, please come into the picture. You're gonna fill it up. Okay, if you're in that row where my pick is, please stand up. In the back row, please stand up. And, man, that looks good. You guys look good.
If you got a certificate, please hold it up so it's going to be in the photo.
Looking good. Everybody in? What you got, Alan?
Good?
You looking good?
Okay, try to squeeze a little more. Everyone to the center. A little bit. Yep.
Close in and walk.
Closer, closer, closer.